as Walter makes a run ahead of him. Bergkamp suddenly changed pace through the centre. It's Bergkamp! That's magnificent! The move, and then this, which left Dabby's ass totally stranded.
Hello and welcome to Bergkamp Wonderland, the Arsenal podcast that every time I put anything on Facebook, it goes, you can't do that now. Absolute liability. It's been like the Somme here today. We've had two people disappear. Craig had to go and cover further football coaching, and then James woke up and all of his guts are upside down. So I've had to call in the man who usually does the post-game shows with me, and you'll see a different side of him this time because he's not reading from a thing of notes that we've made. He's going to be freestyling the entire thing. So, Deac, hello. Thanks for joining us.
No problem. I was just chilling this evening anyway, so no problemo.
Story of my life. I've had a packet of beef and a packet of chicken, Tesco's finest, obviously, because I'm not an animal, a can of Monster and a can of Pepsi Max. Also with us, luckily last night, I said, Melvyn, feel free to join us if you've got time. And he said he would. Otherwise, it'd have been me on my own, and nobody wants that if Deac wouldn't have been able. It's Melvyn. How you doing, Melvyn? Nice to have you back again.
Yeah, thanks a lot for having me on again. Really happy about that. Thank you.
Now officially part of the ABW WhatsApp group. Is it all you dreamt it would be?
Oh, yes, yeah, absolutely. I don't like those ones at 3 o'clock in the morning, though, with old rings going off.
Don't you mute it when you go to bed?
Of course I do. I turn it off. Of course I do.
I am a late night. And Deac isn't in the group because he doesn't like humans, and Stan isn't in the group because no one thinks Stan's funny. And so Stan left. And Deac, he can't.
I probably would have left anyway.
You probably would have done. I don't know. I've not left. I do know because it would all fall apart. And it's only for organising. There's very little chit chat in there. Sorry we're late. I've just explained why we're late. And yeah, that's a good enough reason. If people can keep me updated with the Blackburn Rovers score, because a mate of mine that I follow, I think I can call him a friend. Yeah, we follow each other on Twitter. I follow him on Twitch. Blackburn Rovers fan, proper one. He's doing his first ever watch along. He normally does games. And he's of my generation, so he's getting on a bit. And he's watching the Blackburn game. So come on, Rovers, you bastards. In the chat, we have Paul Nell, not Neil. We have an Englishman in Canada. Again, lovely. Oh, a little clock. Oh, dear. Sorry about that. Rudy is there. Howdy, Rudy. Englishman Canada says, I'll save the full chat of talking about my bowel movements for the day and just say things are good. Oh dear. Patrick is there. BX is there as always. City 1-0 at Luton. That's kind of done a big poo all over the show. Mike Hertz is there. Arriba. Lovely to see you. Phil Macker is here. What else is there? Anybody else I've missed? Hente. You should go and follow Hente. Go find him on the Twitters. Follows only 82 people, which means he's a man of a certain taste. He's in Scandinavia somewhere, and he does all the Arsenal history stuff, and he has got quite the following. And every day, 3 or 4 really interesting bits of Arsenal history and stats and data. And if you want you want to learn a little bit about the footballs, go and give him a follow. And then Demsek is there. Of course he is. Any enlightenment yet, guys? Never, ever, ever going to happen. Ever, 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 ever. That's a song. It's in my head now. That's not going away in a hurry. So, right, first thing we want to talk about, Melvyn, what's your thoughts on the how you think the Newcastle game went? Because me and Deac did the post-game show, and you might bring up something we want to talk about. But, yeah, how did you feel about that? Because that's now 6 Premier League wins in a row. Like the title of the podcast, 6 games, 18 points, 26 goals. Not bad, is it?
No, I went to that game the other on Saturday night, and what difference I thought we play. I mean, we were on them. We suffocated them, actually.
Yeah,
we absolutely suffocated them. You know, from the first minute until they were just gasping for half time. And I thought what was different about our game is that we were actually fouling them in their own half, which we never do. We seem to break up play like Man City used to do. You know, when they used to just break up play, stop you getting in a rhythm. We stopped them playing football. Not only did we close them down very good, it's when they had the ball, we just fouled them and fouled niggly little fouls that we weren't going to get any bookings for. Clever playing the game. But some of that football, I mean, am I allowed to say this? Someone else might have said it. I hope I'm allowed to say it. Am I allowed to say that we are playing a little bit of Arteta ball now? Some of the football is so good.
Yeah,
I mean, it
no
feels
problem.
like that. I won't get banned, will I? I won't get hauled in front of the magistrates or anything, will I? But that's what I feel at the moment.
No, we're both Arteta in. Always have been Arteta in. Are you muted, Deac?
No, I'm here.
Your mouth moved and nothing came out.
Yes.
I thought you're either squeezing your testicles or you're muted.
No, I'm all good. So, it's taken us a while to find the identity of the team this year. But that's, personnel change, I think, style of football that's being played as well. We had to evolve from last season. We couldn't continue the course. We needed to adapt and evolve, and we're definitely seeing that now. I'm all for it. Yeah. So, Arteta ball. Yeah. I've been Arteta in since the moment he joined the club. I wanted him to join, stupidly enough, before even Unai Emery was taking over, when there was rumours about Arteta wanting to take over for Unai Emery. So I'm all for it. I have been from the very beginning, even before he even got the post himself. So for it.
Yes. I've got a question. I'll start with you with this one, Melvyn, to get us going. 6 league wins in a row. Sheffield United, that's got to be 7, hasn't it? I was on a Sheffield United podcast on Sunday, a pre-record, so it's not out yet, for a preview show. And people wanted to know why an American in North Carolina supported Sheffield United.
Yeah, that was me. I wanted to know why.
I asked him, he said, I wanted a challenge. I said, you got a challenge, haven't you?
Hey, mate.
He said, every other season's good.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay. So, okay. All right. How did the pod go? Go all right?
Yeah, it's really good. Lovely bloke. He's going to come and
fantastic.
join us for the last 10 minutes of the show on Monday night if he's home in time, because he's 5 hours behind.
Awesome.
So he can come on and cry and we all laugh at him.
Well, I think it's a guaranteed win, isn't it?
Melvyn, we are going to win again. You are going to make it 7 in a row.
Well, it seems like that, doesn't it? We've got momentum in the league. As long as our manager doesn't take out our Duracell batteries like he did in the week against the Porto and sticking those Chinese batteries that we can't pronounce, because we need the energy, the momentum, just keep going and going and going. Against Porto, I mean, we just slowed to a pace like it was like September, October again, wasn't it? We were so slow and lethargic and defensive, like we were going for the draw, which I can't understand. We're so good offensively, or we've been so good offensively the last 6 or 7 games. Why suddenly do we stop and try something different? But anyway, against Sheffield United, we should be too good for them. I mean, hopefully, they'll try and kick us if they can't get the ball. So hopefully they can't even kick us. They miss us as well, and we just play round them. Because some of our football takes, we've now gotten into a situation where we can take teams out, or players individually out the game. They come for us, move it across, move it back, move it sideways. It's just all of a sudden, they just, like they did Newcastle, they gave up after a while chasing the ball. They gave us the second, well, after about 30 minutes, we just had so much space. We just gave up chasing, because when they went away, it went to B and B went to C. So we should be too good for them. As long as we don't make any stupid mistakes, we should be way above them. And it'd be nice to be in a situation where by half time we're getting the cigars out like we've done the last few weeks in the league.
I'm extremely confident. I've got no qualms about it. It's 4-0 win. It's I've never seen such an easy game. We're not the Arsenal of the last decade where we go up against teams. That's fine. I can eat my words. It's no problem. I do the post game, so I'll eat my words. It's not a problem. But I'm that confident. That we will demolish Sheffield United. They are an appalling football team. They're rock bottom for reasons of not being able to score goals and just leaking and losing everything. So I'm so confident. No problems here.
Yeah. So Deac, that will be 7 wins in a row. Arteta's best ever was 6 wins in a row. How many do you reckon the most in a row Emery did in the 5 minutes he was here?
Didn't he have that spell where he was winning things? So I'm going to go 11.
I'll go 9. 9. I go 9, Danny.
That run of 14 games, I think it was, he only won 6 in a row. That's the most he ever did.
Oh, I thought it was more than that.
He went unbeaten for a long time, didn't he? I know that.
Yes, I think that's probably where I got it misconstrued.
In the 5-1 against Fulham, where he smashed them. All right, start with you with this one, Melvyn. The most in a row that George Graham did. League, Division 1, well, it wasn't Premier League, was it? Division 1 wins in a row.
I'm guessing 4.
4?
Mm.
We were better than that. You were there.
Yeah, but I was there. Not in mind, probably. I mean, we did draw a lot of games as well. We won a lot of games 1-0, hence the name. But I'm thinking 4 in the league. I'm thinking, though we were much better than lots of that division, only us and United, wasn't it? Really, but I'm saying 4. I'm sticking to 4.
Deac?
I don't know. I wasn't even born. I was born 86, so I have no actual comprehension of how that would be. I'm gonna go with 6 because that seems like a number that seems to be happening at the moment. No, just because everything's 6.
10 straight wins.
Wow.
At the start of the 87-88 season.
87-88.
Is that the most ever?
No, the most ever in modern history. You go first, Deac. What was the most? And it was Wenger.
No way, was it? I'll go back to 11 again.
Oh, no. Melvyn?
12.
14. It was the last 14 games of the 01-02 season.
Nice.
Wow.
Nice.
And I looked
at that. So that's the bar. That's the bar that's been set.
Well, I think it might be doable. We have got a decent run of games coming up. Deac, is there any coincidence that this run of, we're going to call it 7 games, I'm going there.
Oh, yeah.
Is from game 23 to league game 23 to 29. And last season, the 6 in a row came games 21 to 26. So this is 23-29. That last season, 21 to 26. Any coincidence in the time of the season that this streak happened?
It's weird because that obviously last season we had a bit of a stumbling block for everyone around the world with a World Cup in the winter, which caused issues. And I really loved the football that we were playing before we went away for the World Cup last season. We were doing the pods last season. Do you remember, Danny? And the post pods. And I tell you what, that was some of the most enjoyable post pods I've done in years. Talking about those games week after week, it was an absolute pleasure. And I said to everyone at the time, I said, enjoy the moment because you don't know if it's going to continue. And we started this season a little bit groggy, but we've definitely finished. We're finishing the season strong. So I'm all for it. I'm 100% all for it. I think the second half of the season, we're starting to show that not only Man City can do it, but we're going to be doing it. So, and I'll tell you what, Man City have been a shadow of their former selves second half of the season this year. So I'm all for the ride.
How about you, Melvyn? You've been a fan for longer than I have. I mean, my first game was in 87, and I suppose you've been going for a decade before me. So this, I mean, Wenger used to always do it, didn't he? It would be, but it wouldn't be this point. No, it would be this point. No. For Wenger, it was always the regular thing. Knocked out the League Cup, the FA Cup, and the Champions League in the space of February and March, wasn't it? Wenger's run come at the very end of the season or the start of the season. So with Arteta managing to do this in, what are we going to call this, 3/4 of the way through the season, 2 seasons in a row, it can't. It's not the same teams. It's not the same players. It's not the same competition, oppositions. Why is this so that these 2 runs almost parallel to each other?
I think one of the reasons he took them away for a break. That's the only reason. That's the only. There's no parallel. It's just worked out that way. I think it's just a coincidence. Because before he took the team away, we were not very good. We wouldn't have been talking like this. So I think he's made that change, took the team away to Dubai, and they've come back refreshed and can play in a completely different way, more aggressive, more forthright. So I think it's that. I don't think it's anything else. And let's face it, if you look at the fixture, I hate looking at fixtures going forward, but we're all talking about Sheffield United. Well, the one after that, if you want to take him in 2s, that's what I'm only going to do in 2s. The next one is Brentford at home. So if we've got any hope of getting to the promised land, we've got to beat Brentford and we've got to beat Sheffield United. And if we do that, it's 8 on the spin. I mean, that'd be amazing, wouldn't it?
It is. I watched Brentford last night. They were shit. Here's a little thing that I've made because you know me, I do love a. Why is
Such Sudoku.
Hey! Oh, look there. They sunk my battleship. Fuckers. This is something I've been doing. On the left-hand side, you can see the season. And then as you go down in column C, that means whoever was manager.
What's our worst losing streak, Danny?
In the Premier League, well, we've got a 3, a 3, a 3. We don't tend to lose. A 3.
Threes.
Yeah. Oh, here we go. Under George Graham, 4 in a row.
Nice. After
is
6
that right near the end? Is that near the end of his career?
After 6 wins, losing 4 in a row. What is this?
And where this is yellow, like this one here in 03-04, that the yellow one means that's the day we won the title. So
really?
I have got another one that goes through the first division all the way down to 1960 that I've done, but it's a lot of numbers, and I've got fat fingers. I'm always paranoid I'm gonna mess stuff up. But then you look towards. I mean, even Arteta's 2 seasons ago, the same area or number of things in 21-22, he had 6 wins out of 7, and again, game 22 to game 28. Now that is a kind of pattern that is weird. And then you look at the games that we lost. We lost game 20 in the Premier League 3 seasons in a row. There's a lot of numerology going on here.
Isn't that the one around Christmas?
Yeah, I think it would have been. Yeah, but look at this one here.
We're always rubbish around Christmas.
We've won 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 last games of the seasons in a row. We've won. I mean, even before that, look, you go back to. Since 2001, 2002, we've only lost 1 last game of the season. That's because we're bottlers, and when the pressure's off, it's okay. We have a great result. But look at these, lining those ones up there, Melvyn. That's got to show some kind of pattern, hasn't it?
I suppose so. Yeah, it does show a pattern. Yeah.
What do you think?
Pretty sure that's the Chelsea game, isn't it? On 29. Is that the Chelsea game?
I don't know. I did start a little thing in there. You can put in there a little bit of information, and you put the game.
Chelsea, the only one we lost that season you're talking about?
No, I'm just saying game 29 for the end of our predicted streak is going to be a Chelsea game.
Right.
And then we've got a 2-week break, and then we come back to City. And I guess that comes up with the question: do you think it's a good thing that we've got a 2-week break before the City game, which is probably the most important game of the season? Do you know, I say that all the time, right? And to people that don't know much about football or don't follow football much, and they hear those terms a lot. For example, my missus, whenever she hears me go, "But babe, it's the most important game of the season," she goes, "You say that about 20 games a season." I'm like, well, that's how football works. But so what do you think then? Do you think the fact that we're having a break before the City game is going to work in our favour, or do you think it's going to hamper us?
Hopefully, take them to Dubai again.
Yeah, I'm all for it.
Have we got a drip doctor in Dubai? That's the kind of questions I don't want answered. Oh, game
like
20.
I said somewhere else, the talcum powder over there is very expensive for some reason. I don't know why.
Dempsey wants to know if I got a spreadsheet of when Mike is in the UK. No, because it'd just be always green because he's always here. Here we go. Boy 10's got a bit here. He says, "I've not proofread this, so this better be good. Admittedly, we could actually win the league this season." Hold on, everyone, take a breath. Boy 10's being positive.
This is what this is. See, and that's what Arteta's Arsenal are giving people. People even with the most negative of mentalities, they're bringing them out their shells and making them these really positive people. It's helping the world. It's healing the world. The Arsenal is healing the world.
I never thought I'd see the day when Boy 10's been positive. He says, still not seeing it though. I am quite hopeful of doing an Untouchables season next year where we break away from the pack and don't get caught. Melvyn, looking at the teams around us, Liverpool they've got so many injuries. I mean, they've got the best goalkeeper in the world out. They've got the best ever Dutch defender, best ever Dutch player in the history of football, Van Dijk. He's doing all right. But then you've got Salah coming back from injury. You've got, is it Robertson is out for injured, and then you got the
Trent.
Robertson back, isn't he? He's back, Robert. He played
Roberts. Trent's out. Trent's out.
Trent. And then you've got the bloke they bought in the summer.
Sosbalai.
Who?
Sosbalai.
He's injured, and also you got the one that got injured at the League Cup final at the weekend. So that's another one that got injured. And Man City every game 1-0. So it's got to give us confidence, Melvyn, hasn't it?
Yeah, it is. But they're such good teams, those two. Even with injuries, you just got to do what we got to do. We win games.
Said it as well.
Just worry about us, because it breaks my heart. Looking at their Man City, you're hoping they're 1-0 down with 2.5 seconds to go. They're still going to win. So, it's just, I saw on Match of the Day, I saw the Bournemouth game, and they, from what I saw, look quite lucky. But they just do it. They just get, manage. At some stage, it's going to turn. And we've got, if it does turn, we've got to make sure we're still winning our games, which is the most important thing. What's Terry put?
Terry, was Terry the one that put the thing about why Kiwior is such a good player?
Yeah, Terry was last
week.
About
that, he was on the podcast a few weeks ago.
No,
Terry,
I didn't know. I didn't see that. I'm all for that, though. Kiwior's fantastic.
He said the reason why Kiwior is such a good player, he got bullied at school for having such a short surname. I nearly wet myself.
That's a good one. That's a good one. That's a good one.
Any hair transplants is because of trauma. People only ever remember the poor runs of results. I can recall every day of my ex-marriage, and when Guardiola retires, he won't even remember who he is. Well, hopefully he won't. Jota's injury. Cheers, Ronry.
Yep, Jota's got the injury as well.
Demsek, with Liverpool's injuries, I can see Man City beating them. Deac, there's been a lot of talk of people saying that we are now scaring teams, because it's okay if we score 5 here and 4 there and then get another win, but we're absolutely destroying teams game after game after game. And this is going to be game 7. And then Brentford will be game 8, like Melvyn said. That's part of what makes Man City so good, is the old Arsenal thing of we beat them in the tunnel. They know what they're going to get. They know they're going to get a thrashing. We've beat Liverpool and Man City in the league. We drew the other game with Liverpool in the league. Can't wait to play Spurs and absolutely smash them. It is, isn't it? It is partly psychological, which is why, the longer you play against Man City, you're going to go, well, they probably are going to score eventually. And we have got that bit of psychological edge over people at the moment, haven't we? Because they know everyone's getting a beating.
You know what's even more terrifying, because a lot of teams, obviously, they'll go, if we make one mistake, we're going to let this Arsenal team in and they're going to go and score a goal because it's just a certainty. However, it's more terrifying than that, because how many times have we said now, Danny, in the post pods, we go, the moment we've scored a goal, that means we go and score more. And we've done it so many times in a row now that I'm just laughing at. It's like the moment we score, that's pretty much it. We're just winning games because the game is completely open. The team that is maybe sitting deep or playing a certain style has to sort of come out a bit more, show a little bit more. We catch them on the break numerous times. We've got that David Raya ability now. So from the moment from a corner or a goal kick or anything like that, we've got that counter-attacking ability that Raya offers, either from the throw or from the foot. And we've not had that. Ramsdale, we won't do the keeper talk or whatever, but Ramsdale's a decent keeper. But the moment we were linked to Raya in the summer, I was like, yes, this is brilliant. This is exactly what we need. We've got now the ability, the spine of the team is looking so strong. Obviously, all we need now is a striker up top to finish the spine, but we look like such a strong, structured side that's got the fluidity to go and win the league with class. I'm all for
Not only that, when we score a goal, not only are they thinking, they might score more now, they've got their tails up, but they're thinking that where are we going to get a goal from? Because our defence is playing so well.
Yes, that's exactly right.
It's an uphill struggle, isn't it, for them mentally?
That's it. I said last, what was it, a few pods now, even at the start of this pod, I've said, the fact that we played a certain style of football last season, and I was all for it and it was really enjoyable to watch, but we needed to add structure to the side and stability. That's the reason why we went and spent over £100 million on a guy who has got one of some of the best interceptions in world football, because we want to solidify. If you look at all the stats about who Arteta signs more than anyone, it's a centre-back. He loves defenders. You know what I mean? He's only spent over 50-odd million since he's been at the club on strikers. That's all he is. That's all he's spent so far. So I'm really, he's a guy obviously that wants to work from the very back and make his way forward. So structurally, we are so sound at the moment. but we're starting to see the fluidity that we saw last season in the attacking threat again. So we're seeing the best of both worlds. We're not conceding, but we're scoring goals, whenever we want as well. So we're just about coming into it at the perfect time for the end run of the season. As Danny said, Liverpool's got injuries, but City, I watched them against Bournemouth on the weekend. I said it in the pod. They looked really subpar. Bournemouth were really unlucky to not get an equaliser. And I think that's the Man City that we'll see for the remainder of the season. De Bruyne isn't the player he's been like he was last season, and Haaland either. So I'm all for it. I'm interested to see where this goes. 100%.
Melvyn, in the chat, Demsek has read my mind and says, teams see our XG let in as 1.9 and really worry. Little graph here. Someone tweeted, I've got to get rid of Demsek's comment. Someone tweeted this earlier in the day and I stole it. I don't know who it was off of Twitter, but they obviously stole it from someone.
Athletic.
Was it?
It's Athletic. The A at the bottom is Athletic. They're a subsidiary owned by the New York Times, I believe, who is owned by Todd Bowley.
Oh, for fuck's sake.
So Athletic, Athletic, Tifo Football, they're all very biased against Arsenal, and they never give Chelsea any jip because they're kind of owned by Todd Bowley.
For people at home on the bus walking the dog and having a poo, this says Arsenal's defence has allowed less than 2.0 expected goals in the Premier League in 2014. Melvyn, what do you think of this? We're 1.9. Man City are 6.8. Everton 7.7. Somebody else 7.9. I don't know who that could be. Who's blanked out? There's a team missing there. Spurs are 8. Forest 8.2, and then blood at Chelsea at 9, Liverpool at 10, Man United at 10.3, and Newcastle at 20.5, and West Ham just above them in 19th place at 14.4. You're a man who likes numbers, Melvyn, unlike Deac, who doesn't know any numbers. What does that say to you? I mean, you go to the games, you see it, but that is unreal, isn't it?
It is, yeah. And I'm surprised our goal difference isn't much better than what it is at the moment with the teams around us, because that looks ridiculous, those numbers. Absolutely, with Manchester City and Liverpool's numbers, they're far worse than ours, and yet we're practically not that much ahead of them in goal difference. So, a bit shocked about that. But listen, I'll take it every day of the week where we are. Our goal difference is, I think, the best out of the three, isn't it, at the moment?
It is.
So,
goals conceded is the
but
best.
what we've changed...
39.
Going back a few weeks, a couple of months ago, rather, it was like, who's going to score our next goal? It felt like. Now, everyone scores. Defenders as well. So it's not as if the other team can go, look, if we stop him scoring, we'll be all right. I mean, no, you won't be all right, because the guy behind him or the guy to the side of him might score. And we're very fluid now, the way we play the football, interchanging, which is great. It's very difficult for 6'12" defenders to defend against people running all over the place. It's all right putting big crosses in and the centre halves looking great, heading them out. But when you're actually playing football round the box and round the side, very difficult to defend against. So it's all, at the moment, it's all looking good. Then let's keep going, eh?
How about you, Deac? What do you think about all that XG thing? Personally, I don't like XG, but that does say. Remember the beginning of the season? We only started doing the post-game shows just before Christmas, I think. And I remember saying the football is rubbish, and then people were pointing out, yeah, but he's changing the way of playing football from last season to start defensively. And then I'm sure somebody said he's going to sort the defence out. Because I remember saying that's what George Graham did when he came into the first thing you do when you want to sort a club out, you sort the defence out. Last season, our defence was a mess. So it looks like the first half of this season, sorting the defence out, and then the rest wrote itself, didn't it? I don't remember.
That's exactly what I've been saying that. I've been saying that all season. The fact that he's doing that, the fact that I made the comment that Arteta's he spent more money on defenders at this club than any other position on the pitch since he's joined the Arsenal. He knows how to do stuff. And as I said, I wanted him before Unai Emery. I absolutely love Arteta. He's got so much class and charisma about him. He comes off so well, but he's also, he's passionate for it. He's not doing it for the. I know he obviously gets paid a nice amount of money, but you can see that it's not about the money. It's about the passion and making a reputation for himself as an Arsenal legend. That's what he really wants to do. He admired Arsene Wenger a lot, and we all, loved Arsene Wenger, but I think Arteta. Who said it? I can't remember who said it, but they said Wenger built the stadium, built the Emirates, but Arteta's turned the lights on. I can't remember who said that.
That's a good point.
I can't remember who said that, but
I saw it on Twitter. I did see it. Yeah, I saw that.
Yeah, it's I've never heard truer words spoken. I think that pretty much encapsulates what we all feel. And if you don't feel that, then football must be a very depressing place for you, because Arteta is playing so brilliant football, and the team is so cohesive. And I called it, a few seasons ago. I said Arsenal are signing family people. He's signing players with the same similar mentality. No party boys, no players with egos bigger than their talents. He's got rid of all of that, and he's bringing in players. And there was loads of jokes made when we signed Kai Havertz, who, if you know me, I absolutely adore Kai Havertz, have done before he even signed for Chelsea. I loved him. So I'm buzzing that we signed him. And I'm so glad that he's actually working out really well now, because I was defending him during all the the early season slumps and everything. But we're finally finding an identity with this football club, and it's a pleasure to watch, an absolute pleasure to watch.
With Arteta, I mean, you can still criticise Arteta. Doesn't mean you want him out. And I've criticised him in the past for certain things, because he doesn't pick the team I want, which is nothing. Why should he? But I think, how can he pick him? Why doesn't he make? But he's been right so many times. But however much I've criticised him in the past, I come back to the same old thing. Why did he join us? He should never have joined us. He watched us get murdered by his Man City team at the Emirates. They were 3-0 up in 20 minutes. He was sitting on the bench just before he joined us.
Never celebrated.
I didn't notice that, but for any guy,
he's never celebrated a City goal against Arsenal when he was.
Is that right?
Coaching.
I didn't know that.
Never celebrated. Everyone else celebrated around him. He never celebrated. There's like a highlight reel of how many times he never celebrated. It's really good to watch. Really, really good to watch.
I will look out for that, definitely. But I think for him to wish that, he must have looked at that and go, well, we're not 5 points better than Arsenal. We're 5 years ahead of Arsenal, because that's where Man City were. I thought they were 10 years ahead of us. I didn't think we'd ever be playing on the same pitch as them anymore if they were so much better than us for a few seasons. And 4 seasons later, look where we are. We're talking about not just holding on to their shirt tails. We might be going in front of them. It's amazing what he's done. So for all the time I've criticised him, I've been wrong. Perhaps not on the point of each separate point, but overall, I should have kept quiet and let him get on with it, because I think he probably.
At least you're not dying on your sword. Yeah, at least you're not dying on your sword, and and you've admitted it and stuff like that. That's because I see so many people where they just stay on the train, because at this point they're just embarrassed about the comments, and they've just stuck with it. They're just living with the lie. I want to be proven. If I make a negative statement towards someone, I want them to prove me wrong, especially when it comes to the Arsenal. I'm happy to eat my words if it means that something changes and becomes different and stuff like that. For example, I'll give you one now. I really love Rice as the number 6, but seeing on the weekend Rice playing the number 8 like he did, I'm like, oh, he actually does do that really, really well. And I didn't like the idea of him playing as the number 8, but I thought he played so well against Newcastle as that sort of old school box to box midfielder who was actually playing as an auxiliary striker a lot of the time. And we were able to utilize that height that he offers, and allowing Jorginho to sit in a deeper position like an old school deep line playmaker, like primetime Fabregas, which I said on the post game for the Newcastle. So I'm happy to eat words as well. I didn't think Rice could play the 8, but he proved me wrong against Newcastle. That's for sure.
Hente's put up an interesting stat here. He says the Arsenal current goal difference of plus 39 is the 3rd best in the club's history in top flight football after 26 league games played. Only in 1930-31 plus 47 and 34-35 plus 46 it's better. That would be in the Ted Drake days, I suppose. Here's the video that Deac was on about. I've gone and found it. I'm going to risk our YouTube monetization. This could be 35p down the drain. I've put it on.
Is this the celebrations? Oh, yeah, this is quality.
Oh, yeah, sitting there.
It gets comical how he never claps or gets up.
And there was a lot of losses.
Even when he clearly had a hand in something, he'd shake people's hands, but he never celebrated.
And go away. He's probably saying to him, I don't want to celebrate. Look at that. Leave me alone. Oh, that's ridiculous. That is ridiculous.
Oh, he had a bit of a celebration at the end then, and having that.
Oh, that was good. That's when we scored, I think. He celebrated.
yeah, that would be. Let's catch up on what the people are saying in the chat. Boy10 says December took away our league title this season. Now imagine we replace those two of the always injured lads for December, or Timber is back. That's true. Russell posted it. Cheeky monkey. Tom Andrew, that's what Pep did first. Bought Stones, Walker, Mendy, and Edison. You need stability at the back. Ron Reed says, and likes numbers.
Danny, quickly, I'm going to put a controversial opinion out there. You know me with controversial opinions. I don't rate Edison.
Why?
I don't rate him. I don't think he's as good as a shot stopper keeper as everyone thinks he is.
I think the Liverpool one, Alisson is the best, isn't he?
Alisson's amazing. Yeah. Incredible keeper. But I think Edison's got a lot of mistakes in him. I think he's got a lot of mistakes in him. If he was put into a side that conceded a lot of shots, I think you'd see a different keeper.
We have seen quite a few times this season where, I mean, like against, I know it was Alisson against us, wasn't he, when they had 2 fuck-ups?
Oh, yeah, that was Van Dijk as well, though. That was a mutual mistake.
And lots of numbers says there will be one more game where we, for whatever reason, won't score. We need a proper striker, not a false 9. Well, it's working.
I love the option of a striker. If we sign a striker in the summer, an option. So if the false 9 idea doesn't work, or if we're playing with a striker and that doesn't work and we can option to the false 9, then I'm all for it. Obviously, we still need a striker, even though I've been wanting a false 9 to be played at the Arsenal for years, Danny. I've lost count of how many years, right?
Yeah.
Exactly. So I wanted ESR playing up front as a false 9 because I think he can play the position really, really well. His hold-up play's fantastic and he can turn on a dime. But I'm very happy to see one of my favourite players, Kai Havertz, play up as the false 9 and offering so much and allowing all that fluidity. So.
Tom Andrew says, I'd love us to go for a Branthwaite, young, homegrown, left-footed centre-back from Everton, 6'5". Oh, we do need a new BFG. Demsek says, we seem to start games with a normal back 4, then White inverts and go on the attack, which I like to see.
It's offensive and defensive positioning, isn't it, really? If we're on the ball, he plays in the pocket, and if we're off the ball, he goes back into auxiliary right back.
That Arteta turning the lights on was James from Arse blog. So
I thought he just mentioned it from someone else. I don't think he said it himself, but maybe I'm wrong.
Terry Mancini says Rice is brilliant. Is a brilliant box-to-box player. Social Joins is here again. I like Branthwaite too. He's a little soft for a Dyche player. More ball-playing centre-back, but he's 21, plenty of growth.
He's playing very well at Everton at the moment. Very well, both right.
And they might avoid relegation.
100%. Yeah, they're playing
Boy10 says, Arteta was always fun. Now he's come good, and every club needing a manager wants him. Just seen the people say they want him at Man United. No. Phil says, I can still turn on a dime. It just has to be a bloody big dime.
Nice.
I don't know where that's come from. You don't rate Edison, says Terry Mancini. Comments like this make me fear for the parallel universes where Tottenham are winning leagues.
Yeah, I don't rate him. I said it was a controversial opinion. Did you see Boy 10 Dio's Havertz got one of the most unreal touches since Bergkamp? Did you see that comment?
I was scrolling through and I was like to pick out one from people as I go along, not all of them. But
yeah, that's all right. No, that's all right. I just saw that comment and he said afterwards, he was like, yeah, I said it with like shocked faces. I'm just glad that people are seeing Kai Havertz, the player that he can be.
Can I just go against that a little bit? He might have as good a touch as Bergkamp, but he's not a consistent and ever the good touch as much as Bergkamp.
Sure.
Sometimes he kicks it 4 feet in front of him.
Sure.
I'm not knocking him. I'm just saying you
That's fine.
Can't put the two in the hole. Sorry.
Oh no, we're not. He's only saying in jest, isn't he? He's not actually
right.
being
Fair
literal. Literal about it. Comparing Bergkamp to Kai Havertz in any sort of comparison is a moron thing to think. But he just means he's seeing touches and glimpses of what Bergkamp used to do, and I'm all for it. I'm just glad people are seeing him and appreciate him.
Good.
He's very good at knowing what's around him.
He's brilliant.
You think he's blind to a certain spot, and all of a sudden he put the ball back. How do you see him there?
He's a rudimenter. He's a space finder. He's brilliant.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah,
class player.
Social joint is having a sing song. Ben White plays where he wants. Benny Blanco plays where he wants. Is that what they sing at the games, Melvin? That song, or has he just made it up?
No, I think he made that one up.
Sounds like a song that needs to be sung, though. I like that.
Hente says, word for Jorginho. He had 84 touches in the first half against Newcastle United, the most in the Premier League game by any midfielder this season. Bloody hell.
They weren't just ordinary passes. He made that goal. Our second goal was a fabulous ball into the box, the little chip to Martinelli, fabulous ball. And he did some other good things as well. No, he made us tick. He was just tick tock all the time. He was brilliant. It was the best game I've seen him play for us anyway.
I find when I'm at games, I don't watch. When you're watching it on telly, you have to look at what they're looking at. I used to always watch Tony Adams and Keown and Campbell and Toure and all that lot. I'd watch them to see what they're talking about and see what they're doing, because there's a lot goes on that you don't see because you're watching it on a camera. And that's what I do miss about being at the football, watching stuff, the runs that people will make and things like that. And it's so much more to football than you get to see on the telly, which is a shame that more people can't go to the games these days.
You know what advantage is going to the game as well, don't you, Danny? You don't have to listen to the commentators.
That's true. Yeah, I think the most people now turn on at kickoff and turn off at kickoff.
Yeah.
At kickoff.
Yeah.
No,
Volume.
some combination of words. I don't know what they are. Oh boy, 10's been multiversing. I've checked over 10 million multiverses and the Spuds don't win anything in any of them. It's a multiverse constant for Spuds to lose. That is nice. And lots of numbers. Eddie is still taking up a wage place in the squad, needs to be sold. I think we all agree on that. Demsek, last season, Kai scored and assisted 8 league goals. So far, he scored 6 and assisted 2. Good. So he's level on what he did for Chelsea last year.
He's played a lot more games.
Savar is here from Twitter. Hello, sir. Are we going to see Manwari again this season, Deac? What do you reckon? Maybe change that to playing more than just coming on for the last 10 minutes when we're 7-0 up.
No,
Right.
I don't think so. I really rate him, but I think Arteta needs to take I'm not saying bringing on a player is not serious, but I think he really wants to take this as serious as possible. And I think that's completely the correct way to play it. I think he's an incredible player, Mwari, but I don't think it's going to happen as much as people think it will. Maybe I'm wrong, but I just can't see it.
You see them warming up, Melvin. Is there any kind of for fuck's sake, when he's been warming up and he doesn't come on? Like you sent a teenager to the room to say to go tidy your room up. That kind of strop when he has to sit back down on the bench. Do you ever see any of that?
No. I see him warm up sometimes and come back, but I don't know how aggravated they get. I agree with you that I don't think he will play this season again unless we are 3 or 4-0 up against not a very good team with 10, 15 minutes to go. I think Arteta, he's actually got now he can play the long game with him. He doesn't have to put him in the squad. He doesn't have to take a chance with him. He's 16. He could take a couple of years to slowly bed him in. We're in a situation where we've got, if we do have to make changes, the people we bring on at the moment are doing a good job. So there's no need to put him on unless just to give him a bit of experience. This Saturday, if we do actually, was it Monday night we're playing? Sorry, Monday night.
Yeah, I'm playing Monday night, 8 p.m.
If we're lucky enough to be 3 or 4 up with 10 minutes to go, I'm sure he might bring him on again. But other than that, he won't bring him on. No way. Not
a chance.
Demsek and Rudy talking about Mika Bierith.
I agree.
Danish, I think he's Danish forward. Who we got him from Fulham.
Fulham. Yeah.
Yeah, 5 years ago.
Really rate him.
on loan at Motherwell, meant to be for the season. He came back because he was doing so well. Sent off to an Austrian team, Sturm Graz, I think it might be. Scored on his debut, and then I think he scored in another game, and then he scored in the Europa League. I think it might be the Conference League, whichever one Sturm Graz are in, and he's doing really well there. Demsek also brings up a point, Deac, about Jorginho. One of my notes was, I think Sophie said on the Hybrid Squad last night when she was on with the magnificent Dave Hillier. If you haven't seen that, go to the Hybrid Squad. Sophie and Hillier, just magic for 90 minutes. So said something that she's been told, or she read, or she heard that he isn't capable of playing back-to-back 90 minutes. Why could that be at a bloke who's 31?
I don't know. Well, I know 31 isn't very old in the real world, but in football terms, it especially in the position and the part they've got to play, can be ancient. Being at we played Porto and we played against Pepe, he's turning 41 this week, and he's still doing the business. You know what I mean? He's played 33 seasons of Champions League football in his career. That's an insane statistic to think about. But I've no idea. I've no idea why Jorginho can't play 2 games in a row. I don't know. Maybe he's got some injuries. He's getting recurring injuries, shin problems, or I don't know. Who knows? Might be just old school wear and tear. Maybe he wasn't looked after as much as he should have been at Chelsea. We see that a lot with. I remember I used to have arguments with people about rugby all the time, and they go, "Oh well, footballers are pansies," and I'm like, fair enough. Sometimes they're a little bit dramatic, but I think that's part of the theatrics of trying to get the ref under your alluring. But players who play football, look at Pepe. That's 20 plus years he's played professional football. Rugby players they play for 8 years because they just get absolutely battered, completely battered. I know it's a physical game, but they don't look after the players. They play them through injury. They strap them up like all their limbs are going to fall off them because they just play, and it's all macho. But they only get 8 years on average of a career. And look at Pepe; he's 41 and he's still playing in the Champions League against an Arsenal side that's looking its best it's ever done since the Invincible days. And he did an amazing job. I think that speaks a lot about how we look after football players. So maybe we need to just, it might not be preferable. I'd really love to see him every week, Jorginho, especially with how he plays. But if it means that we manage him better to be able to see more of him throughout the season, then we've got to do that.
But you're asking the question is, he's 41, and why is a 31-year-old not as fit as him? I think
everyone's
it's
built
easier.
Different.
And also, I think it's easier to play at the back when you're a little bit older than play in the midfield with the rough and tumble of the midfield.
Sure.
Look at the one from Chelsea, Silva. He's their best defender. And he just goes on and on and on. He's a phenomenal player. And how old's he? 37, is he? To play, you might say the Champions League.
But what about
to play week in, week out in the Premiership? To play at that level every week, he's playing for Chelsea. So I think to play in the back four, especially at the 2 centre halves, and the Italian one that gave up football last year, I can't remember. I'm bad at names. Who's the guy I'm thinking of, Danny?
Zlatan Ibrahimovic.
No, the centre half. Tough. He looks all right. Well, hard nut, and he's a great player. Anyway, he was 30, I think, 7, 8 when he gave up football last year. It's easier to play as a centre half when you're a bit older than play in the midfield where it's all happening around you.
Yeah. Just looking at Pepe, he made his Champions League debut in 2004-05, and he's still playing. 139 European games he's played and scored 7 goals. That's not bad. I mean, that's the dream career, isn't it? I remember I did a thing on Mr. Waffles here. He might remember this. I left the Arsenal forum, online Arsenal. I've not been on there for at least 12 years. Back in the day, I did a post on there saying, you start your career at 16, you finish your career at 40. Tell me your career, where you're going to go, where you're going to start. Mine was start with Barnet 3 years, Peterborough 3 years, then go and play for Inter Milan, go and play for Atletico Madrid, then go and play in Turkey, then go and play a few years for Corinthians in Brazil, and then come and spend the last decade with Arsenal. And a lot of people just put the entire thing Arsenal, which would be good. So maybe that's that'd be a podcast we can do. Get the listeners to do theirs, and we can go through them. Someone else will steal that idea now.
You'd have to change it, Danny. Put Saudi Arabia as the last port of call now, wouldn't you?
I have morals, so that's
not you particularly necessarily, but others.
Oh yeah, they'll all be the entire career there. They make an absolute fortune. I'm just looking through the
few comments, Danny, that I saw. Patino needs to be given a chance. Too good to be wasted. I think his ship sailed.
We think his time's over. He's kind of
I really rate him, but I think his ship has sailed. I think we're gonna unfortunately have to leave him, let him move on. We've been talking about him for about 5 years. And with Lokonga, I was talking to you, Danny, weren't I, about Lokonga and the fact that he's coming across really well. He's doing really well at Luton at the moment. And he had an interview stating that he understands now the quality of Arsenal, because obviously he's been at Palace, now he's been at Luton for loans, and he's performing well at Luton. But he's starting to realise now what it was to get picked and play for Arsenal, because we saw him in the the Amazon Prime documentary where he was getting a bit frustrated with no game time, and I think it was Eddie Nketiah who just went, "Shut up, mate," and basically just mugged him off in the interview in the documentary. I think he's fine. I think I think it's finally clicked for him now. I think he appreciates it a lot more. Whether he'll play for Arsenal in the future, I don't know. It depends on what we do in the summer. But my TV's just gone on. 1 second. 1 sec. But yeah.
Yeah, I think people are asking questions about players that Demsek says Patino needs to be sold, and Sambi is injured. Boyten saying Lokonga has to go. So, right, let's move on from that. The next thing I wanted to talk about, done that one and that. Jorginho, we've just done. Melvyn, with every single, we want to run at the moment, and the formations that we tend to be using are going to be, is it this one? I've got 3 on here. It's either going to be that one with Havertz, Rice, Odegaard in the middle, and Trossard up front, or it's going to be that one where Trossard and Havertz swap positions. The question is, if every single player in the squad is fit, match fit, and ready to go, do you think Arteta would make any changes to this starting 11? Because we all know he's a bit liable to a tinker here and there, isn't he?
Mm. Well, I don't know if he would. I know that I would like to see something happen. If they're all fit, I would make one change, controversially, because how can you drop any of those players? But I would actually give Timber the right back slot. I really would. Because I think that if you look at some of our goals, and also the goal on Saturday was Ben White's fault, I think. He was in no man's land. He wasn't helping Gabriel with the overlap on the right, where he should have been. And he wasn't anywhere in the middle to stop the header, to stop Willock. So he was in no man. And it's not the first time it's happened. A lot of our goals, not that we've let in that many, but seem to come from that area. So I'm not a big critic, but I'm a small-time critic of White and his defensive play sometimes in the last 10 yards. Not so much from 10 yards upwards. I think he's done a fantastic job. But I think we need someone with a little bit more nous, who knows more about how to play at right back defensively, that is. So I'd put Timber in. I know we haven't seen much of him, but there is definitely a player there. But
where would you put White? £50 million
out of the game. It'd be on the bench.
Well, I suppose
I'm looking to improve the game, improve the team, not do a financial balancing act. It's just to improve the team.
You wouldn't be happy with that, Deac. Any changes for you?
Yeah, I'd do Timber as well, but I would do it for a completely different reason. I'd take Kiwior out, and I really rate Kiwior, but I really love Ben White. Absolutely love him. He's vital with set pieces and everything in between. But I would bring in Timber, because Timber then can play through the middle and allow White to play the Kiwior role. basically becoming an auxiliary centre back, and he does that role. He's done that role for years, so I think that would fit a lot better. So yeah, I bring Timber in for Kiwior. Kiwior's, as much as he's playing well, he's a stopgap player. We all know it. I would be very surprised if he's at Arsenal in the next couple of years. He's not a player that we're going to be signing, extra contracts to keep for the next few years. Do you know what I mean?
He's worth quite a bit of money to some Italian team, and he's a player that we don't need.
This is my point. This is exactly my point. So Timber coming back, I think, comes in at left back. I think he can do an amazing job there, and his ball carrying skills are one of the better. One of the reasons why Arsenal signed him from Ajax. He did that all the time for Ajax in the Eredivisie last season. And I want to see it for the Arsenal.
Would you bring his brother to the club as well?
Yeah, I would, and I want Hota as well. I want Hota from. He's just signed a new contract for Ajax. But I want him as well from Ajax, the left back, Hota. I think he's amazing. And then we could play Timber on the right and Hota on the left. Ajax wing backs. I think that'd be phenomenal. I'm all for that, 100%.
Melvyn, Savar says, where do you guys stand on the Timber, White, Zinchenko, Kiwior? So on the fullback positions, what's your favourites?
The Timber White one we know that one, how I feel about that. And I prefer Kiwior. I prefer him on the basis that I like my fullbacks to defend. And Zinchenko, as great a footballer as he is with the ball and flicking it and turning it around corners, he's not a great defender. So no, that's what I would. I'd keep Kiwior in at left back and Timber at right back.
Same with you, Deac?
Yep. I would do the same thing. Listen, Zinchenko was such a great idea a couple of seasons ago, but we've already surpassed. I know some people get. I remember reading a comment on like a post game where someone was like, "We're not passing Zinchenko and Gabriel Jesus." It was on the comment section of one of the YouTube videos, and I was like, "Well, I disagree with you because I think we are past this Zinchenko era. We've already found out the style of football we want to play, and Zinchenko allowed us to kind of mold it for a while. But I think he was a nice little stopgap player, and I think Jesus. I've spoken about it numerous times now. How many games he's missed for us, and we're not even. I know that he's a great option to come off the bench, but we've not even seen him, and we're not missing him at the moment. We're playing some of the best football we've played this season without him even touching the side. I'm just gonna put it out there right now. That's what's happening. If somebody went out there said, "We'll get rid of Gabriel Jesus and we'll bring in, I don't know, Pedro Neto from Wolves and a striker, an out and out striker up front," I wouldn't say no to the options of Jesus being gone. Zinchenko first and foremost, though, definitely.
Mr. Waffles says, right now we're effectively playing with 4 centre backs, and it works. You'd be glad to know, people. Mr. Waffles has now got an avatar on his WhatsApp. So I had a moan at him last week for not doing it. It's him standing next to the Premier League trophy. But sadly for Mr. Waffles, not from Portland, it's got the Man City ribbons on it. I'd have had them fuckers off. Set fire to them. And while they're running for the fire extinguishers, then take your pictures. I mean, it works. Luca is there, who has his own YouTube channel, Luca AFC. Very interesting young man. Go and have a look at that. Boy 10 says, Timber already passed the eye test for the 1.5 competitive games he played.
Exactly, he did. But then that's the kind of impression he made. And I'm me making these statements. I'm not a nut. Well, I am a bit nuts, but I'm not nuts for making these specific. This is it. I'm not a nut for making these very specific comments about Timber. If I said it was a controversial opinion like the Edison thing, then fair enough. But I think most of us, not all of us, agree that we're very excited to see Timber come back.
FA Cup update, if anybody's interested. Bournemouth, Leicester 0-0. Blackburn, Newcastle 0-0. Luton 1, City 3. Has he got on? Oh, of course, he's got the old lanky bollocks. He's got a hat trick. Yeah, go fuck yourself. Stat padding against shit teams. Mr. Waffle said, I asked them to change ribbons to red ones. They declined. You should have. I've seen the size of it, Dave. You are a bit of a hunk. You should have smashed. You should have gone Hulk on them and smashed the whole gaff up, taken prisoners. A name I've not seen before. Tony_K holding a guitar. Dave makes guitars. Mr. Waffles makes his own guitars. There you go. In immediate friendship. Tony says you have to be careful when bringing back players too soon. Jack Grealish started tonight and has now gone off with a groin injury. Jack Wilshere, that's all he's going to be, that bloke.
Jack Grealish played football this season?
Apparently. It's such a shame. He's a lovely bloke and he's has the shit kicked out of him every game. Because he's a Man City player, you'd think he'd get protected and he would be one of England's most creative players.
Got massive calves, Danny. Massive calves. His calves are thick with 2 C's. Thick.
They paid 50 million for him and another 50 million for his calves, didn't they?
That's exactly what they did.
They got charged by the
50 million
pound
for one calf, 50 million for the other calf.
Right, next one I want to talk about Deac. Something we've been singing poetically to each other in the post-game shows. Nicolas Jauvert, hopefully that's how you say it, has been our set-piece coach since 21-22. Before that season, as in 2021, we scored 4 goals from set pieces and 11 and 10 in the seasons before that. Last 2 seasons, we've scored 15 last season and 19 already this season. That is, not only is that game-changing, it's stats-breaking and it is phenomenal, isn't it? For already to be on 19 and we've still got possibly
12 games left, haven't we?
Yeah, I think it's 12 in the league and 3 in the Champions League, because we will beat Porto. We're going to get more, aren't we?
Yeah, well, I don't think that includes throw-ons, right, for those set-piece goals, because I think that's my theory that I've come up with, that throw-ons, especially throw-ons that create an attacking threat, which it has done a couple of times already this year. I think those are some attacking threats, because we've seen Jesus score one against Forest and we saw Havertz score one as well, where it's been an attacking throw-on and then we've gone on and scored basically from that throw-on. But yeah, set pieces. I never thought I would say the words that Arsenal are completely and utterly they are the most dangerous team in the Premier League when it comes to a set piece. It sounds like something you would say about Stoke back in like 2006.
Peak fearless.
Exactly, with the long balls and everything like that. I can't remember who did the long throws, the really long throws.
Ian Hutchinson.
Roy Delap.
No, Delap. That's the one.
Yeah. Chelsea did the first long throw I saw ever was Chelsea. Ian Hutchinson. It was never done before that. He
okay.
Amazing throw he had.
Stoke made an identity around Rowe, around Delap making the throw-ons. That was their attacking threat, and that was like a set piece for them. That was like a free kick for them. But yeah, I never thought I would see it. But I tell you what, I've never been so excited at a corner ever in my life. When do you get excited about corners? Normally Arsenal are about 5'1", most of the team. So we're like, corner, just play it short. Just play it short.
What are you doing? My cat's having a turn. Roy Delap, that's very good, Deac, because I'm making a list of players I've seen play who their sons are playing. And so far, got Kolo Touré.
Son, of course.
His son, Yassine, is a ringer at Leicester. Paul Ince, Tom Ince, we knew that. Ian Wright, Bradley Wright. Kevin Campbell, Tyrese and Kyle. Louis Barmorte, his son, is at Kayserispor. He is 28. Oh,
what about Sean Wright Phillips, his stepson?
Yeah.
You're not counting that?
No. Got to be blood. Bobby Savage, his son, is at Reading, I think. And then you got the 2, the 3 that Liverpool had on the bench. I had no idea about any of these. Bobby Clark is the son of Lee Clark, the Newcastle legend.
Yeah, I didn't know that. No.
Jason Dans is the son of Neil Dans. I think he played for Blackburn and a few others. And Lewis Koumas is Jason Koumas' son, Welsh legend.
Wow.
Then I've got the three Maldinis, and I've got Patrick Kluivert, Justin Kluivert, and Rory Delap, and his son, I think, was a striker at Man City. So if anybody else has got any more, just put them in the chat. This is going to be a thing I'm going to build. Tony K.
Schmeichel's not playing in this league anymore, is he, Schmeichel?
No,
He's
any
gone
doesn't
abroad,
have
isn't
to
it?
play anywhere they want.
Or Schmeichel?
Yeah, I'm just going to write the word Peter, because if I don't, Peter. Yeah, if people find any more, let me know. Just interesting, because it shows how bloody old I am. Tony K, who's new to the chat, says that guitar was at Guitar Show. I asked the price. It was £4,000. I put it down very carefully. And Boy Tens says, smash the guitar. Don't say that when Waffles is here. Oh, Turam. There you go. There was another one. THURAL. If you're at home and on the bus, you can tweet me and let me know of any others at @the_GFP. And I'll try not to do them when we're meant to be doing a fucking podcast. Savat says, also helps that half the team are built like tanks for set pieces. That is very, very true. Savar, I think you're quite new to us. Nice to have you here. Demsek says, I was told Roy Delap was a junior javelin thrower.
That makes sense.
Yeah. Boy 10 says, there you go, Harji. I knew Harji had a son. And there you go, add that to the list. And I don't know how to spell names. I can't pretend. My spelling is absolutely horrendous. But Tony K says, Boy 10, very difficult when it's made out of carbon, graphite, and aluminium. What just put on safety glasses? And lots of numbers. Ake is such a cheat. Yeah, we can all agree with that. Doesn't matter what the reason. Now, scroll to the top of my page where all my questions were, because I've been fucking around with players' names. What else have I got? Melvyn, have you said anything about the free kicks? So I tend not to listen when I'm typing nonsense.
What do you mean? Sorry.
The 19 goals we got from set pieces. Have you had your say on that?
No, I just think that it's been after this break. We were hitting the near post. I think Trossard was taking them. And all of a sudden it's changed with Rice taking them, and we are so dangerous. There's lots of movement, lots of planning. I mean, it's fantastic. I mean, I thought the amount of goals we've scored, I haven't seen that since Bold and Adams was in the team. When the last time we looked dangerous from corners and free kicks. So
that's another reason.
We still haven't got a great record of scoring from free kicks, have we? We've lost that a little bit over the years.
That's another reason why Kiwior is such a vital player for us at the moment, because he allows us to free up Rice to take the corners, because he adds that height that Rice would normally offer if Zinchenko was on the pitch. So because Kiwior plays, he offers another attacking threat from set piece alongside Gabriel and Ben White and Saliba. Which frees up Rice to be able to do what he does with the corners that we're seeing so much at the moment. So Kiwior offers more than people realise, I think.
Those cheeky fuckers at YouTube. Look at this. I'm going to do you a little share screen. I'm going to go to this window here, channel content, and I'll let you see. This is our page. I'm going to have to do this one so you can see it better. Where was it? Someone put something. Oh, it's not come up. Anyway, in the thing, somebody put fucking adverts. Oh, yeah, Boy 10. No, it wasn't. It was somebody else put fucking adverts. You can see there, it's adverts are switched off, monetization off. I don't turn that on until a few hours after the pod, so you don't get any adverts. You lot have been mugged off.
I like it that your late night special one, it says ineligible.
Oh, that's because
they couldn't understand what Mike's talking.
Yeah, no, they think the song that he sings at the end, the outro, they think that's a song because he's singing it.
Right. Okay. That's why I was laughing, because I wasn't. I've never seen that word there before.
Right, where are we up to? We've done an hour and 10 minutes. People got any questions? Start them with the letter Q, and much like the one we have got from Phil Macker, he only has one good message per show, and that might be the question. Start them with a Q. I will save them for late at the end of the show, and we can answer as many as possible. Terry Mancini says, Paul Cannonville, ex-Chelsea, had 11 kids with 11 women, so they could, in theory, field a whole team. I'm not sure about that. I don't know. Breaking news and lots of numbers. Luke Skywalker, son of Darth Vader. Spoilers.
Is it Vader German for father?
Is it?
Pretty sure it is.
I
love Star Wars, and I remember reading about that and laughing to myself.
I fucking hate Star Wars.
I only saw the first film, and that was it. No more. Thank you.
Yeah, I'm Star Trek, not Star Wars. Live long.
I hate Star Trek, Star Wars since they got bought by Disney. I hate.
Disney. I hate everything those fuckers have done.
Disney. Disney have destroyed everything. They've literally destroyed everything.
Apart from the new Deadpool. Now that looks good.
Yeah, but that's because Ryan Reynolds has a lot of the rights still for Deadpool, so that's the reason why he allows him to be able to do what he does. That's why he lives and breathes it, because it's his. He owns a lot of the rights.
Demsec says, Latte Firm, that's our very own FK. I say our very own. He invented ABW with me. And Hybrid Squad have ads. All of a sudden, it's YouTube buggery. No, Soph didn't have adverts last night. She mentioned it. What does bottle it really mean? Okay, there's a question there from Demsec. Very good, Demsec, old bean. Phil can't stand Star Wars. Jolly good. Boy 10 says Star Wars is art. Disney Star Wars isn't even real. Yep. Phil says can't stand Star Wars. I'm a Trekkie. Good. Star Wars died in 1999. Brady's Banana has turned up, everybody.
Hey.
He's got a note from the milkman. I don't think that's going to help the situation at all. City are winning 4-2. I've got the page up to see who scored.
Brady's Banana for following me on Twitter, by the way. Brady's Banana followed me on Twitter at his own peril.
Fuck me. Haaland has got 4 and De Bruyne has got 4 assists. Stat pad. No, De Bruyne has got all 4 assists. 4 assists, 4 goals. Fucking hell. What's the point? They might as well go home. Dune. I saw the original Dune. It was good. No, we're not going to talk films. Me and Deac are going to do a...
talking bollocks.
Bollocks. Me and... Sunday's going to be busy. I'm doing a... we've got
to do it after the Chelsea game. We've got to do it after the Chelsea game between the break of Man City.
Okay, yeah, I was going to come to that. But me and Mike are doing the shows again. Mike's been going through some stuff, and I was going through some stuff, and we're messaging each other. And he said, "Do you want to do one?" I went, "Yeah, okay, then." So we're going to do one Sunday, and then I'm doing the preview with Stan after that one, and then next midweek we've got nothing on. Me and Deac are going to do one where we talk about ballocks. We'll be talking films and all that other kind of stuff, and doing our best not to talk politics, because most of you would stop watching if we started talking politics.
What mic are you doing it with, Danny? What mic? Magic?
Oh, only Magic Mike. So only me and him do that. Only me and Deac will do the talking bollocks, I think, probably. If Deac dies, then maybe I might look at somebody else. Hente, I am an alien fan or actual alien. Either way.
Aliens, the second one is my favourite. Aliens, the second one with the smart machine guns.
I got Sean to watch the first Alien. She went, not scary at all. I said, fuck you then.
It's a good thriller. It's a good thriller. But I like Aliens because it's more action.
Filmmakers just won £100 on Euro Millions. I do Euro Millions. I do my mum's numbers. And so far, I won £4. But I'm loaded, so it doesn't matter. I can just throw money away. So that's films. Oh my God, it's 5-2 now. Typical.
Oh, I don't want to know anymore. Stop it.
Indeed, Demps.
I can't wait to see June 2. I can't wait to see June 2.
It's on. Watch it now.
Can you?
I've got a site where you can watch it now in HD.
Oh, no, all right. We'll have a conversation.
We'll have a chat.
We'll have a chinwag.
Yes. Savar says, and thanks for the welcome, Danny. I remember listening to the earliest ones you did, but then stopped logging on Twitter during the banter years. Yeah, why is this? Where are you? Where are you from or living, Savar? That's I doubt you're going to say Wales. That's as much of a read I can give on that without people shouting at me. Haaland scored all their goals. Fuck Haaland. Watched Species. That scared me. I don't watch horrors. You should ask Rio on that. Melvyn, your thoughts on Rio Ferdinand? You can swear as much as you want. Are you getting a little bit sick of the likes of him and Carragher and Neville, the usual fucktards going on having a go at Arsenal? Because there was a tweet going around yesterday with a Crystal Palace fan talking about the Arsenal, saying it's unfair how much grief they get. They are playing the best football in the league. Blah, de, blah, de, blah. What does Melvyn think?
I think that Ferdinand and Neville are shock jocks. And I think that Carragher's just an idiot. I think the other two are playing a game, but Carragher's just a guy that can't control himself. When that goal, the Liverpool goal, was disallowed on Sunday, he actually mentioned Arsenal. I thought, how strange. Talk about in your head. How very, very strange. Now, there's something not quite right there with him. And with Ferdinand, I don't care. Listen, he might have been one of the best centre-halves this side of the Mississippi for a period of time. It doesn't make him a judge. You never get into the Old Bailey, in my opinion. He should, if he's got an opinion, he can say it, but I'm not going to take any more notice of him than the geezer around the corner. So that's how much respect I got for him as a judge. He won't keep me awake at night.
Oh, Haaland scored all fucking 5.
No.
Yeah.
Oh, dear.
This time, Bernardo Silva got the assist. Deac, I'm going to take this off the screen. I'm going to sit back. I'm going to readjust my earpiece. I'm going to pick up a can of drink, and I'm going to say, Deac, what do you think of Carragher, Neville, and Rio Ferdinand? And I'm going to leave a gap so I can use this as a clip.
What do I think of Gary Neville, who is more into his politics than his football, and it shines through constantly? He's in hot water at the moment for controversial comments made towards the Chelsea team. And I'm all, I hate the Chelsea team, but you're completely right, Melvyn, with regards to the shock factor that they offer. They don't offer more than anything more than that. Yeah. Carragher, the man who scored more own goals against Liverpool than for Liverpool. I don't know what to talk. I don't know what to. What do you want me to tell you about these three absolute muppets who are running around struggling to try and find relevancy, and their teams are not giving it to them. Apparently, Man United are a joke this year. And Liverpool, they may be getting back into it again this year, but they're definitely going to fall off towards the latter parts of the season. And Carragher's always been that. And they've got this, they think it's like this Laurel and Hardy Chuckle Brothers thing that they're doing, where they're trying to, it's Carragher and Gary Neville, are you? You got to love them. They're hopeless. Absolute complete muppets who a lot of people can't stand, even their own fans. And Rio Ferdinand, he's desperately just trying to get in there and become the new Gary Neville, isn't he? By saying stupid things about Bukayo Saka, and the fact that the commentators, as I said to you, Danny, in the post game, where the commentator said, by the way, Rio Ferdinand does have the utmost respect for Bukayo Saka, even regardless of his comments. I think that says more about what Rio Ferdinand has said than anything that anybody spews on Twitter, because even the football hierarchy know what he's saying is absolutely absurd, and they have to correct his character, Rio Ferdinand's own character. They have to correct it because they know a lot of people are fed up with him. So, and there was talk about him being on a flight or something like that, and he was giving it jip because he was he came on and ended up speaking on the tannoy of the flight because it was filled with Arsenal fans coming back from the Porto game. And he's constantly just seeking attention. He's like a little boy who just wants to grab everything, attention-seeking little muppet that he is. And Melvyn said it right as well. He was a great centre-back, but it doesn't mean that you could become an incredible pundit. Look, Thierry Henry, fantastic football player, shocking manager. Not as bad as Gary Neville in his time in Spain, but we don't talk about that anymore, do we? Done.
And there you are, done. Wonderful. That'll be a video on its own rather than a YouTube shorts, because it can only be 45 seconds, and I don't want to cut that down. Demsek says his daughter his youngest lives 50 miles away. I've just checked how far away. There he goes. Demsek says a bit of dad-daughter time. She's living 50 miles away. My daughter lives 69.7 miles away, but she can do that in just over an hour because she drives like a twat.
She lives nearer me, Danny. She lives nearer me. She lives nearer me.
Yeah, Nottingham.
Yeah. I'm about 40 minutes. I'm 40 minutes away.
You can keep your eye on her. God, there were so many comments there. I can't go. Someone new on Twitter. Hello, Fergus. Should we be surprised at former football players having limited intelligence in their punditry?
Yep.
Yes, indeed. indeed. And there was Savar says, haha, I'm from India, been supporting since 2002. Cheers, guys. Absolute dream is to sit in the clock end one day, maybe even have a drink with the Ashburton and Army. Well, if you ever do come over, let me know at the _GFP on Twitter. And I know plenty of people that would be happy to meet you before the game and take you maybe to the pub, to show you around. Because I am quite obsessed with India at the moment. I'm going to put a link in the chat. A bloke called Jay Streezy, 39-year-old American. He has just spent the last 65 days in India. He does 16-hour streams, gets up, walks out the hotel and goes, right, left or right. And he will go and he'll speak to the Charwalla people, the tuk-tuk people. He'll just talk to people that are homeless. The other day, there was 3 blokes sat outside of a hotel with all the newspapers on the floor, selling newspapers. He sat with them for 2 hours talking about life. One of them spoke quite good English, and the other 2 spoke English a little bit. And 2 hours just talking to them. And then he'll go and they'll have dinner and he'll try all the different street foods. He'll try it all. And my favourite place is Bangalore. And I also like, I said it last week, Mumbai. Very, very nice. And I didn't like Delhi because it's like London. Incredibly busy and very messy. There you go. I'll maybe talk about this later because that's not football talk. Where's Steve Lord who would shout at me, get on with it? I'll get on with it, Steve. So what other notes did I have? I hear nobody asking. So done that one all the way down there. The football revenue, Melvyn, you're a man who knows numbers. Football revenue rose for the year to 464 million, up just under 100 million from 21-22. So any thoughts on that? Because it's going to go up again. That was based talking about the Pepe deal has cost the club over £100 million, and then that's where I got this numbers from. It's going to be even higher next year, will it?
Well, this is just Arsenal you're talking about, the 400 million, yeah. Will it go up? I don't know if it will it? Why should it go up? I suppose we bought 100 million for Rice. Obviously, that'll go up in the players we bought. Yeah, it will go up. Yeah. That'd be offset a little bit by wages, not a lot, a little bit by wages, but you've got to remember the revenue is going to go up because of European football we've had this year, and that might continue with the rounds going forward. And that's big money. So, no, it's just fine at the moment. Everything's fine. There's no problem. We can afford to give Tyrannosaurus his money every week, so things can't be that bad, can they?
How about you, Deac? Do you ever look at the financials? I know it's none of our business, and me personally, the club gets £0 and 0 pence from me. Although I am going to renew my membership so that I can hopefully get tickets for some games coming up. But do you care about it?
Of course, I care about it because it tells the story of the longevity of the football club and how we can handle ourselves in the transfer markets. We've been through the era of we paid off the Emirates and had players like Nicholas Bentner and Marouane Chamakh and Denilson, who I remember when he left Arsenal and went to play back in Brazil, he had to come off after like 10 minutes and be put on a ventilator because he couldn't breathe because he was so unfit. So we've been through these eras where money was tight. So, of course, money is very important. I think it's a big part of it, especially if you play Football Manager as well. These are big things that you need to look at. We need to be, frugal with money. I'm very happy that we didn't make any stupid deals in the winter just to bring a player in, just to appease the fans, to bring in something new and shiny. We didn't do that, and we're starting to see that now, where we're sticking with our guns and going with the plan at hand. If plan option 1 or plan A is still available, we should be striving towards that, no matter when that particular plan becomes in an active mode. For example, in the summer, we know what's going to happen. We're going to go and sign ourselves the striker that we wanted to sign, whoever that may be. I don't know, because there's a lot of talk now about how Ivan Toney, the man that we were all looking at, is potentially not the player that we're going to be signing, which makes me very interested, because I tell you what, Ollie Watkins has had a fantastic season for Aston Villa.
A fantastic 2023. The most goal and the most, what's it called when you have the goals and assists added them up?
Contributions.
There you go, Melvyn. Well played. Yeah, the most in the Premier League in the year of 23.
Yes, incredible football player, completely under the radar. and a man that's in his prime. He's playing for a Villa side that's actually challenging at the moment for Champions League football under a manager of Unai Emery, who I, think he was unlucky at Arsenal, even though, as I said earlier on in the pod, that I preferred Arteta over him and untested Arteta above him. But, he's doing a great job at Villa with an Ollie Watkins, who's, as I said, flying under the radar. We might be able to get him for like 40 million or 50 million. And I think that would be a steal for a player like him. And I think he would get into the team and offer us something that we don't have, even though we've got a Havertz that can play high-top football. I think Ollie Watkins is a little player, but who knows who we sign? Who knows who we sign? But yeah, let's stick with the plan. Watch the money coming in and out, and yeah, just let's in faith with Edu and Arteta doing their barbecues in the garden. I just want an invite one time, Danny. That's all I'm asking for. Little barbecue invite. I love a barbecue.
Brazilian meat.
They love a barbecue. They love it. So Edu, if you're listening, I'm available for invites. All right. I'm happy for some picanha. All for it. No worries.
Just looking at Ollie Watkins' stats, Melvyn. This season, all comps 19 in 36. Last season, 16 in 40. Previous 11.36, and the season before that 16 in 40. He's 5'11", and he's 28, and he's 29 in December. 9 games and 3 goals for England, and he's an Arsenal fan because he was born in Torquay, obviously. Is that someone you'd like to see at the club?
No, I think we can get better. I think we can do better than him. If we've got to change our style again, Danny, I want an upgrade on what we've got. Because at the moment it's working for us at the moment, and yes, we probably do need a plan B when things aren't going our way. But I want a bigger upgrade than that to change our style. Definitely.
Well, upgrade. What's your dream signing then, Melvyn?
I haven't got a dream signing, but I don't think he's good enough for. He isn't that different to what we've got as far as talent goes. I'm sorry. I think his first touch sometimes lets him down. I think he goes missing. I think his record recently has been fantastic, but go back a few months. Wasn't showing at all. No,
I just think Tony's going to be really, really expensive.
Yeah, he probably is. Yeah,
and I think Osherman's going to be too expensive as well. That's 120 odd million. I don't think so. If you're going down, if you're narrowing down players based on costs, that's the only reason I'm looking at Ollie Watkins, who has had a really good couple of seasons. But yeah, of course, I would love Osherman. Osherman's the dream signing, but at the end of the day, for the money. Who knows? Solanke's another option as well, who I've rated as well, but he's come off the boil recently. But Ollie Watkins has been consistent, really consistent. So who knows what happens? We'll get the player that hopefully Arsenal wants, so it doesn't really matter what our opinion is, I guess.
Exactly. And also, in all fairness, we pay our scouts a lot of money to let them earn their money.
Of course,
I'm sure
100%.
Exactly. They've got a job to do. Let's hope they do it properly and get us the player we need.
I have faith in Edu. As I said, just invite me to.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Boy 10 says Xerxes and Gyökeres. I was watching a thing about him. He's Swedish. I was watching it on YouTube the other day. This season, in the Portuguese league, he has scored in 21 games, 17 goals and 7 assists. All competitions, 33 games, 30 goals, 11 assists.
Wow.
And he's only 20. He's 25. Yeah, he's 25, 6'2", Swedish forward. Coventry last 2 seasons, 40 in 90 games. And before that, Brighton had him, loaned him out 3 times, 3 different managers. And it didn't really work out for him. But he is absolutely dominating it. He's like the new Zlatan. He does absolutely everything with the ball, which is wonderful. Phil's been a bit bumlicky here. Says Danny once brought in something new and shiny to appease the ABW fans, and that one was Deacs. I don't ever refer to you lot as fans. I've just sufferers of having to suffer this every week. Social says Rio just looking for attention. Arsenal live rent-free in his head. When you live in and around London, you know who is top dog. This another attention seeker attempt from Rio. Talk about United. Joel B says Watkins is a gooner. Patrick says we certainly will be by some unknown Brazilian youngster. Rudy, we don't need Ferguson from Brighton. We have Mika Bierith. I think that's a bit of a step for him. Tony K, if we could have a match fit Partey alongside Rice and Odegaard against City, I think we could win. It's never going to happen. I'm going to scroll down a bit. West Waffle says Osimhen has not had a good season. No, because he's just like all the other players that are wonderful and they get too big for their fucking boots. And Napoli have been shit this season. And a lot of it is down to him. Krunal is there. Good morning, gentlemen. Good morning to yourself. Hope you're all right. Have something nice for breakfast. Personally, I had can of Monster. I'm a monster myself. Social says Osimhen off to PSG. Cash plus Ramos to Napoli. And where else are we down to? Patrick says, who is, I think you're Swedish. Gyökeres is nothing like Zlatan. He is a traditional centre forward. Well, I will go and I'm going to go and find, again, I'm doing something which I'm going to go down to my own YouTube. Where is it? Oh, stop getting rid of the bloody bar, you morons. I was watching it last night and it was a bloke talking about how good he is. Now, where is it? Come on, don't let me down. Talk amongst yourselves. God, I don't know how much shit I watch on YouTube every night. I'm giving you another minute, 30 seconds. If you don't find it, I'm moving on. No, it's not on here. It's a really interesting video about how he's doing. That's a shame I can't find it. And actually, I'll wait until one of you two is talking, and I'll go and have another look. It was just talking about how well he's doing. Right, next topic I wanted to talk about, unless you two have got anything up to. Are you interested in kits, either of you? Because a few kits have been rumoured for this season. I personally don't give a damn. But
you mean next season?
What did I say?
This season.
Next
season.
Glad you're listening. You two can talk about this. That's the possible mock-up for the Arsenal home kit next season. Notice the Adidas has got the 3 stripes. I don't think that's ever going to happen. You two got any thoughts on that?
No, not really. It's got red on it. It's good enough for me.
It's fine. It looks very much like this season, but
yeah, it
gold
does,
blue. Like that's what it looks like.
Yeah.
That's what it looks. It literally looks like a Photoshop. I don't know. I guess. Yes.
I found the video. I'm going to put the video in chat, and then stop it. I'm going to put it in chat, and you lot, if you want, you can go and have a look at this video. It's got just talks about his career and stuff like that. And they said this bloke says he's the new Zlatan, but he is Portuguese. He's a Porto fan, so automatically we don't like him. I don't care about the home kit. This one, Deac, look at that, black with green on the shoulder. What kind of fucking witchcraft is that?
Oh no!
What is that?
No.
What is who's doing these? What are these mock-ups? Who made these mock-ups?
Whoever FH is.
Right. Okay. Well, FH. No.
And then there's the third kit, Melvyn. Any thoughts on that?
For a third kit, it's not bad, I suppose, but it's a third kit, so I won't see it much. So I'm not really bothered, to be honest with you.
I will give it one thing. I'm all for the Adidas, the old logo coming back. I am all for the old logo coming back. Regardless of what the kit looks like. If they bring back the old logo, I'm fine with that. It's good with me.
So to join in with this, I have made my own away kit for next season. What do you think to that?
You need a ruler, mate. You shouldn't draw without a ruler.
All I've done is inverted the colours on that.
Oh, right.
Yeah. I knew that was the case, but we've played really well in that horrific yellow kit.
I love it.
We play really well in it, and I don't know why.
Legendary. So they reckon this kit is going to be next season's third kit. So I got this current season's third kit, inverted it to that.
Yeah,
that's all he's done. He's just inverted the colours on it.
I told you. This guy, whoever's doing this, he's not had to stretch his brain very far.
Absolute.
No thanks.
Right, I'm going to go and have a look, see if we've had any more questions, because we're
that's a great point. Sorry, Danny. Yellow's my favourite. Whenever Arsenal bring out a yellow kit, I love the yellow kits. One of my favourite shirts is the 2008-2009 away shirt, the shirt that Arshavin scored 4 goals against Liverpool at Anfield. You know that yellow kit?
Yeah,
absolutely. That's one of my favourite kits in the last few decades. If there's a yellow kit, I'm there, 100%.
I remember when we had our first yellow kit. I was around when we had our first away yellow kit, and that was, I think, in the 70-71 season.
71 season.
Round
That would have
about
been the
there.
FA Cup, right? Yeah, that was the FA Cup.
Double league.
I wasn't alive, but I know that's obviously she wore the yellow ribbon, kind of came from and everything.
Yeah, I mean, it's that
my
yellow
favourite
kit
chants.
with the dark blue, dark navy shorts with yellow socks. Oh, fantastic.
Yeah, that looks very smart.
Iconic.
That looks,
Absolutely iconic Arsenal kit, that.
Yeah, yellow's one of my favourites for football shirts, 100%.
So there you go. I've gone through all of your things. Mr. Waffle still has that yellow shirt in his closet. When I first started going in '87, I got the home kit. My dad got the away kit, and we still got both of them. I told him he can get the kit's worth a couple of £100 because he's never worn it, apart from for a couple of games. So go dig it out. He's an old man now. He's saving all his money to spend it on cruises. And yeah. So we've got 3 questions because you lot couldn't be bothered. First question for you, Melvyn from Phil Macker. If Jorginho left this summer, do we spend big on a midfielder or a striker?
I think it's got to be a midfielder. We definitely need backup because Partey ain't going to be around, is he, for too long? Even if he stays with us, you can't count on him playing more than 5 games. And we need someone. Look how better we play when we've got someone with Rice. To let Rice do what Rice does. So I'd do it on a midfielder if you ask me.
Deac?
If we lose Jorginho for some weird reason, then yeah, we have to sign a midfielder. We can't rely. Partey's going to go as well. We can't rely on old Nenny. As much as I love him, he's like a lovable uncle when you meet him at Christmas. But he's a 6.5. He's always will be a 6.5 on Nenny. He's a guy that does the job, but he's not a guy that's going to go and do the job. He does a job, not the job. So yeah. If we lose Jorginho for some weird reason, then fine, we're going to have to sign a mid. But striker is what we need to be looking for. If we can get Jorginho on another year's contract, and if we magically find a really great signing to bring in alongside a striker in the summer, then that's the dream, isn't it? That's the dream.
Oh, that would be good if we can do it without disrupting what we have too much at the moment. I think most people would be very happy about that. So, next question. Cheers, Phil. Next one is, what does bottle really mean? Either of you want to take this? The phrase bottle job?
I've never looked into the historic term for bottle job. I don't know where it stems from. I'm sure Google would probably give an answer to bottle job, but I will randomly give you my favourite, and it's a severance pay. If you know the origins of severance pay, it's a really cool little. So you know what severance pay is. So if you leave your job, they give you a severance package or something like that to give you money to leave. So what you would do is you would. This was back in the day where they would behead people. You would give the guy who is chopping your head off a severance pay, meaning that if you paid him well enough, he would sharpen the axe and do it in one. If you didn't pay him, he would leave it blunt and do it in 3 or 4 hits. So that's where the term severance pay, where you would be paid to be released. So if you paid him handsomely, he'll give it a good old sharpen and do it in one foul swoop. And that's where it comes from. So, but I don't know where bottle job come from. No idea.
Oh, right. Next question, Melvyn. You can start with this one. One from Boy10. How come Chelsea's youth project doesn't get compared to Wenger's Arsenal youth project? Chelsea basically have a stadium debt with a £1 billion team of bums. Wenger had Denilson and Giroud. Make of that what you will.
Well, Chelsea's youth project would never get a chance to play, would they? Because they want to buy success for yesterday. They don't give it a chance. So being a youngster at Chelsea, I mean, look at Omari Hutchinson, who left us because he wasn't getting enough games. He's played left. I think he played 20 minutes for Chelsea when he left us. He was a youth team player, and now he's on loan again, isn't he, somewhere? So no, to be a youth, you've got to be unbelievably good and unbelievably lucky to get a game if you're a youth team player going forward at Chelsea. With Arsenal, there was always the League Cups that he used to throw him in at, competitions like that, because he really wanted to win the FA Cup or the League or European competition. Wenger prioritised on that. The League Cup was just a testing pad for a lot of these players. So Chelsea, I'm sorry. Chelsea have got to go for the League Cup when they get the chance, because they know they've got no chance to win anything else. So it's completely different.
They lost the League Cup this weekend against Liverpool 1-0.
That's right. Yeah.
Virgil van Dijk scored in the 120th minute. There's two reasons why Chelsea doesn't really talk about why we don't talk about Chelsea's youth project. One is because they are, before City, they were the most prevalent side in the Prem to loan out like 40, 50 players at a time. And it was literally becoming absurd how many players they would loan out. So they're not looking to, and I'll tell you what, I'm all for loaning out a player because it especially when it comes to a lower league or a lower reputable team, because it offers them to be able to learn to become a human being as well as a player, grow them as a human being. So they have to learn to, do things for themselves, look after themselves, cook for themselves, clean for themselves, learn some responsibility so they can grow as a man. Because a lot of footballers, they all stay as children because you don't have to really do anything for themselves. And the other reason is because Chelsea have got a massive history of paedophilia in their Chelsea youth ranks, where their coaches and stuff like that would diddle too much.
There's been at least 2 that we know of that have
I don't know.
in trouble.
I don't know.
Mr. Waffle says, I looked it up as well. The Cockney rhyme is slang bottle means arse, bottle and glass. Originally, you would lose your bottle, i.e. be so scared as to lose control of your bowel function.
Oh, okay. That makes it. Of
course,
it's Cockney rhyming slang. I should have assumed it to be Cockney rhyming slang.
Those heathens.
Yes, we are heathens, I agree.
Mr. Waffles loves entomology. I think that means examining dead goats. Nice, you keep that to yourself, sir. Blackburn are now 1-1. Aldo Cookie, available on Twitch. Go and find him. He's very entertaining. Just talks bollocks for an hour and a half, then plays games. He will be over the moon. I will be going and watching that straight after this show. And right, any more things here to say? No, I don't think. I don't think there is. So I'm going to look at my notes and I'm down the bottom of it. Nothing else left to say. All the questions have been asked. I think we're over and done. So that's been an hour and 41 minutes. Melvyn, anything else to say before we go?
No, just looking forward to Monday night. That's the next one on the agenda, isn't it? Monday night. Can't wait for that.
Certainly is. Deac, any wise words?
I want 8-9-0 against Sheffield United on Monday. I'm going to enjoy the post. Oh, I'm going to enjoy the post. There's going to be so many notes of so many goals. It's going to be beautiful.
I mean, if we beat Newcastle 4-1 and Newcastle beat them 8-0, it's got to be 12-1, hasn't it?
Sheffield United are shocking.
I know.
So bad. And we're flying so high. We're going to smash them. We're going to smash them.
Good. Right, people. That is it. Thank you Thank you very much to everybody who joined in the show on Twitter, Facebook, and YouTube. Hello to everybody listening on iTunes and SoundCloud and my personal favourite, Spotify. And thank you very much to Melvyn for agreeing to step in even before you knew this was Titanic-esque at one point. It was just me clinging on thinking, oh, God, what am I going to do?
Danny, always a pleasure, never a chore. You know that.
Excellent. And Deac, thank you very much for turning up in your tugboat, dragging me out of the water and saving the pair of us, because it could have been, it's never much fun with just 2 people, especially if you've not podcasted together too many times. And I'm not sure Melvyn's used to me wandering off talking nonsense here, just going, what do I say? What do I do? He's talking about bowel movements. Help me, someone. And he'd probably just leave, turn his camera off and go. Cheers, Deac.
No worries. You know me. I don't play well with others, but you know, it's a fresh lineup, so we'll see how it goes.
Right. We will be back on... what day is it today? I don't even know what day it is. I'll be back on Sunday for the Sunday roast, Sunday night for the preview show, and Monday for the post-game show, and next midweek for me and Deac doing the Talking Bollocks. Thank you very much. Subscribe if you want. Doesn't make any difference. Goodbye.
As soon as I scored that goal, I was fucking livid. Get down, dog. Splendid business.
He nearly caught the bloody thing. What are you talking about?
So I was just eating a full quiche. Well, you don't often see them at it. So when you see them in the supermarket, they need to be swagged, microwaved immediately, and get the brown sauce on and bosh, Bob's your uncle.
Never in doubt.